Hello, this is Luke Given with Remax Showcase. I'm here with Tanner from Townline Home Inspections. And today we're going to be talking about general home inspections and what they are, and just to help you as a buyer understand them more and to be prepared for your home inspection. So first of all, what is a home inspection and what do you look for in a general home inspection?
That's a great question. A home inspection is basically a third-party home inspector or company who's going to come in and they're going to look at the foundation to the roof and everything in between. It's an objective third-party kind of situation where we just kind of go over everything from your electrical, your plumbing, your HVAC, and we look at all the nooks and crannies from your door hinges and absolutely everything, opening your windows. And that's basically what a home inspection is. And then you'll get a nice report afterwards that's usually around 20 to 30 pages, but there's a nice summary in most reports. And it breaks down everything we find. So it's basically like a honey-do list.
So my next question for you, Tanner, how long have you been a home inspector and approximately how many inspections have you done in just the last month, for example?
Well, I've been inspecting. This is going on my 4th year now as a home inspector. And it kind of fluctuates, but this month here, I think we've done 32 inspections, and this past month of May. But yeah, we average around 350 inspections a year, and that's just general home. And then there's usually some termite and other inspections that are along the way. We don't really add on to how many we do of those yet this year. But at right now, last month was 32.
Awesome. Now, what kind of services besides home inspections do you provide for people out there?
Yeah, so at Townline, we provide a bunch of different services. So we do our general home inspections, our commercial inspections, our termite, wood destroying insect inspections, which kind of covers certain loans like VA, USDA. They usually require those. And then we do our radon, well testing, water potability. We do thermal imaging where we have a nice camera. We can kind of see your insulation and stuff like that. And then we do our water potability and air quality testing.
That's cool. You guys do a lot for your customers for sure.
Yes, we do.
So what do you feel is the biggest question that a home buyer should be asking you during a home inspection?
Well, when they ask, like how their house works, that's probably the biggest question. A lot of times when people move into houses, they don't know where their water shutoff is, or the electric, or how do they shut it off, or just basically their basic systems of their home. Once they learn that and understand that, that's kind of the biggest questions they should be asking. And like, how does this work? How does that work? Especially if there's unique items like a generator. How does this kick on? Why does it kick on? Do I need an automatic switch for it? And there's so many different variables. So those are the good questions you want to ask. If you don't know something, always ask. There's no silly questions. And when you're at those home inspections, just ask, and we'd love to help you out with that.
And do you recommend a home buyer to come to the home inspection?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Every home inspector and home inspection company may be different, but I love when you guys are there. A lot of times I usually go in before I do the home inspection, and you guys come in and we kind of just go over the highlighted items and we walk around and I kind of point them out to you. And it gives you peace of mind, because sometimes the report might look a little scary, or it might just look like some of the verbiage might be different. So and the realtors will know it, but sometimes if you're not in this line of work, you won't know some of the verbiage. So it's better just to be there so you can actually see firsthand what's actually happening.
Sure, thank you. So what are some of the most common issues that you see when you're looking at a home?
Yeah, that's a great question. The most common things we see, it kind of depends and varies on homes. Like a standard structured home, the biggest thing we see is probably peeling paint and some wood rot on like decking and wood trim and stuff like that. I think that's the most common thing we see, especially in older houses in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. We see that a lot. Yeah, those GFCIs, those outlets that most people see in their bathrooms where they trip, we get that a lot too with these older houses. They didn't have GFCIs back then, so if it hasn't been updated, this is something we see regularly. And then like the TPR extension pipe on a water heater. And if you're not familiar with that, it's if you ever go look at your water heater, on the top or the right hand side or left hand side, there's usually a brass valve, and that valve is supposed to have a connection pipe that goes down about 6 inches from the floor. We see that Probably 30% of our inspections do not have that pipe, and that's because the homeowner probably replaced the water heater and didn't realize they have to have that pipe there.
So the last question I have for you, Tanner, is what is the most important component that you feel that a buyer should pay attention to during a home inspection?
Well, I call it the big five. So the biggest thing, you're looking at your roof, your foundation, your HVAC, your plumbing, and your electrical. So they're the big five. So if there's issues with the big five, if they're small, which most houses have some small stuff with the big five. But if there's major issues with the big five, that's going to usually costly and something that might be a safety hazard or a problem down the road. So the big five.
Thank you very much, Tanner.